evil people on Twitter, aka X, whoever thought that's a good name. There's currently some people sliding into your DMs, especially if you're a small VTuber, to try and scam you with their art. And I decided to pretend their scam would work to see what happens. Originally, I only wanted to report their PayPal account, but in doing so, I discovered more than I expected, and this scam went way deeper than I thought. On May 22nd, I was just minding my own business until I received a DM from this one random pre-debut VTuber. From my observation, a lot of these scammers pretend to be pre-debut VTubers because, yeah, this was not the only one of them that tried to contact me. Just the unlucky one that I chose with it. Generally, it seems that there is 3 types of accounts sliding into your DMs. The first one is bots. Those are accounts that have no person behind them. You're just talking to a bot, trying to scam you out of money. The second is scammers. Those are essentially the same, but a real person is behind those accounts. That doesn't change though, that a lot of times you're still indirectly talking to ChatGPT because they just copy-paste the messages. The third one are actual artists desperately trying to get commissions, or they just genuinely want to work with you. Now, how do you differentiate between those 3? Correct, you basically cannot trust either of them. Hence why a lot of people just ignore these kind of DMs altogether, which is sad for actual artists that these scammers ruined it for them. What is interesting about this account specifically is that it seems they never really shared anything about themselves. Not a VTuber lore or personality, which is weird for a so-called pre-debut VTuber, especially when they say they debut soon. Since November 2 years ago. At first they tried to have a small talk conversation with me, asking me how I'm doing, how my day has been, and ask me how my journey as a VTuber is going so far. Technically, you can tell those scammers literally anything. It doesn't matter. They'll find everything absolutely amazing. Obviously, they want to earn your trust and say you something. Then they asked me if I got all the essentials for my channel. I said that I'm not sure because I don't know what exactly I need. And then they told me that they're sorry if I laugh about this, professional graphic designer, and that they could help me. They asked me if they can showcase their previous clients' work to show, and quote, the quality and style I create. What followed was a lot of different styles, which, yes, real artists can create in different styles, but most of the time you always see this little something that gives away it's theirs. In this case, there was nothing. And all the things they sent me were also Twitch emotes, and I just said that I found them cute and whatnot. They offered me that they could make some for me. Me, someone who has never streamed before, therefore is no Twitch affiliate, and therefore has no use for them. I sent them like a reference sheet of my avatar and explained that I have like a space, cozy kind of theme or why. I also explicitly told them the outfit on my reference sheet is not the one I wear on my VTuber avatar, and that they would need to change that. That's important info for later. They wanted, not, they wanted $150 for 7 emotes. Also wanted me to pay $50 in advance so they can begin right now. And honestly, I sat there thinking if my stupid plan is worth potentially losing $50. But I'm a weird person, so I said fuck it, we ball. I told them I'll only pay over PayPal for obvious reasons. If you pay via PayPal, you can get your money back easily, unless over friends and family payment. Luckily, they didn't ask to pay over friends and family, but sent me a business account, which will be very interesting later on. I sent them a screenshot as a proof that I actually paid, because they wanted one for some reason. Then they were gone for 3 days. After 2 days, I asked them how the progress is so far. No answer on that day. The next day, I was presented with whatever this is, and they pinged me in DMs. They do that over the whole course of this, and I still have no clue why. It's DMs. You don't need to ping me. Whatever would you mean? Anyway, I directly confronted them with the fact that this is very clearly AI. I also said that I put it through an AI detector, which I indeed did. The answer, well, most of the AI detectors are lame. What a statement. They try to explain it with a complicated line work and whatnot, which is bullshit. Very clearly bullshit. I want you to look at this again and tell me where the complicated line work is, other than the lines being all over the place and partly not making sense. I asked them to show me the layers because I wanted proof that this is actually drawn by an actual person. They said they will share them with me until tonight, whatever tonight is, and that I can let them know if I want any changes, which is also important for later. Then they sent me this screenshot of Adobe Illustrator, and that was the properties tab, not the layers. I don't know how you can mess this up if you allegedly work with this program so much. I told them again that I wanted to see the layers tab. They again said they will share it tonight, but you had it right there. Then a day later, they pinged me again in DMs with a recorded video that was supposed to show the layers, and I just want you to look at this. No? I also don't understand. And is this fucking Bandicam? Throughout this whole thing, I was in close contact to friends of mine that are actual artists. Showed them everything, and all of them agreed. First off, what this person sent was AI, no doubt. Second off, this person has no clue whatsoever about actual art. Third off, this person doesn't understand how layers work. And fourth, this person doesn't know how to do something in an art program. One of my friends immediately recognized vectors and was confused by it. Another one of my friends was confused why they would make random line on one layer, then more lines on other layers when it's the same object, in this case the glasses. They asked me if they can proceed further. I gave them the condition that I want a time-lapse to make sure they actually make the changes. I also gave them a list of said changes that you can see here. To my request for time-lapse, they tried to explain how they work, which is apparently mostly vector-based, because you can edit them the whole time, and excessive layering generally doesn't provide much practical benefit. Okay. When I sent the explanation to one of my friends, they told me that this literally makes no sense. Because even if they mostly work with vector-based, they would still need to have like a concept and a sketch, which this person very clearly didn't have. I told them again that I want a time-lapse. Because even if all that was true, it's no reason why they would not be able to provide me with one. Then on the 1st of June, they pinged me again in DMs to tell me that they are so sorry because they were busy scamming more people mayhaps. The next day, they sent me a full colored version of the emote, and I can detect exactly 2 changes that they made from my whole list and no time lapse. And I also didn't give them my okay to color it. They sent me that at like 9:30 in the morning for me, and I didn't answer for 2 hours. May I ask the reason why you're not responding? Maybe because I have other stuff to do than to sit around and wait for a scammer to hope I'm dumb and give them money? Honestly, I was fed up at this point, especially after the "oh, why you're not responding" message, so I sent them a long-ass paragraph telling them that I know this is AI, whenever they want to admit it or not, and that I have no idea what happened in their life, that they feel the need to scam people, but that I hope they recover from it. There might be people who are naive enough to give them $150, but eventually the backlash. And here is the promised backlash. While this whole thing went on, my artist friends and I tested those AI detectors. We put in actual art from them. Also from me, even though I'm not an artist. Which the detector was able to identify as real. We put in AI generated things, which it was able to identify as fake. Even edited AI generated art, it was able to identify as fake. Funny enough, I tested AI generated art by trying it myself, and the AI struggled in the exact same places as it struggles in the images this person sent me. What a coinky dink! They said that if it was AI, they wouldn't have been able to provide me with a sketch. Which my friends also has an answer for. They generated a vector layer. That's it. There never was a sketch. There never was a concept. They just generated a vector layer and hoped I wouldn't notice. They apologized for not implementing the changes like I asked them to. From my own testing experience, I can tell you it's because AI straight up cannot do it. No matter how many times you correct it, it would still somehow mess it up. Then they started with that they would never want to scam me, and that they allegedly have trusted long-time customers. My question then is, why they wasted so much time on me then? I also put their previous work. They sent me all the way back into an AI detector and everything is fake. I even reverse searched it in Google and found exactly one person that uses one of those. No clue who these other people are or if they even exist. I didn't find anything about them by reverse search. I didn't find anything about them by their name either. I told them again that I gave them certain conditions that they didn't meet. I explained to them again that it is very certain that they generated a vector layer and called it a sketch. They tried to still deny it being an AI and to shift the attention back to the artwork itself. By the way, throughout this whole conversation, it seemed very much that they were using an AI to write for them. Not only because of the wording, the constant repeating, but also because I legit never saw this person type. I sat there staring at my screen while this all happened. I didn't even leave the chat. It was maybe 10 seconds of typing and then you get hit by a wall of text. I sent them screenshots of 3 different AI detectors that all said the same. It's fake. I also told them again to just drop it at this point because it's very obvious, and just because it may have worked before on someone that may have not even thought about the possibility of it being AI, it doesn't mean that I will trust them now. And they tried again to shift the focus back to the artwork itself and how they can improve it. I told them that even the texts are very clearly AI generated. They didn't like that. Why do you think that everything is AI generated? Well, because it very clearly is in your case. Even my friends noticed while reading all this. I told them that it's because they're repeating themselves like a bot that ran out of speech protocol. But actually, they talk like someone that hoped they would be able to still somehow shift it to be able to continue the scam. They said they wanted to prove themselves as a legit person. I told them I gave them the opportunity to, and told them how, and they didn't do it. I told you that I don't do the time lapse, so it doesn't mean that I use AI. That's okay, but you also didn't make the changes. They said they're gonna make the changes and preview it to me again. I told them that there is no need. They very visibly got frustrated because all of a sudden it seemed like they dropped the ChatGPT answers and tried to go the "but you're so nice" route. When have I been nice in this whole conversation? I told them that I don't know how they can understand that this is not working and that I don't see them nor their art as trustworthy. They then begged like an ex that got caught cheating, which I ignored ever since. The thing that I didn't tell you up until now, and that is very interesting, is that When they showed me the first sketch, I immediately refunded the thing on PayPal. I got my money back, and I have no clue how they never noticed. With one specific friend, I went into a deep dive about this person, and oh boy, that was a lot. With the email address that we found in this PayPal business account, we found a dropshipping web store that sells fake leather stuff in the US. The whole website is very clearly AI generated too. The address that this store is supposed to be at is a mail service. No store, but that's not all. They actually have a second fake leather dropshipping business. That address leads to an apartment complex. One store in Texas, one in Alaska. This person is a big time scammer. The funniest part is, if you thought that an apartment complex this one address leads to maybe their own, no, this person doesn't live in the US. They live in Pakistan. Yeah, we found all of that out with this little information that we got from this. We even know their full name despite them trying to hide it. And I want to thank my friend for helping me with this, because I honestly didn't even think about that. What you can see here is that these scammers try to sell you AI art. Often are scammers in more than just one way. Do not trust random people that randomly contact you, fake interest in you, and then offer you services. I know, especially if you're a small creator, you'll be happy about this interest and attention you get from this. But these people only want your money. They don't care about you. If you want art, commission an artist yourself. Pay via PayPal, normal PayPal, not friends and family, so you can get your money back if this person isn't trustworthy at all. If you're a small artist, I'm very sorry that these people ruin your chances of getting commissions. I'm sorry AI is generally ruining so much for you. Continue trying. Continue posting your art. It will find the right people. If you get contacted by a scammer, ignore them. Report them even, but don't interact. Don't give them attention, and don't let them think they are able to scam you. I did this as an experiment, and because I wanted to be able to showcase how these scammers operate, since I haven't seen enough actual awareness about this topic rather than people making fun of it on Twitter. I hope these scammers realize that this won't work soon, and that this finally stops. I wish you all that this will never happen to you. Thank you for listening to this. From my observation, a lot of these scammers pretend to be the first one, bots. Those are accounts that have no person behind them, they're just talking. Now, how do you differentiate? I cannot fucking read! They asked me if I can. My dog is scratching. They said they will share with one of them, then open the, which my friends are, which my friend also has an answer to that. Huh? I explained to them again that it's very certain that they generated a vertex layer. Fuck my life. I know, especially if you're a small creator. They said they're gonna make the changes and prove it to me again. And then I'll see you